Huh? What are we discussing? Yesterday we are discussing technical,
Yes,
technical things on SAP S/4HANA. What is mean by HANA? What is the in-memory logic? What is mean by multiprocessor? What is mean by column-based reading and the Fiori experiences? We have seen SAP screen and also Fiori screen yesterday, right?
yes, sir.
And and if you go for on-premise license, it's a yearly one. If it is a cloud license, quarterly 4 releases. In on-premise, you have a traditional GUI and also you have Fiori. But if it is a cloud license, you have only Fiori. Okay, latest GUI Fiori. You don't have any traditional GUI, right? Everything is web-based only in a cloud. And we have a two terms called public cloud and private cloud. Okay, so this is also kind of a license. Okay, if you go for a public cloud or a private cloud is if you opt for a public cloud. Okay, so cloud in a sense, it's a everything is in a SaaS, software as a service. So your database, everything you have in a cloud, in a sense internet based, right? You can work from anywhere with the internet. And in a cloud license, hardware cost also will be taken care, not a cost, a hardware maintenance also will be taken care by SAP. Okay, so now what is specifically public cloud in a sense? Normally, to manage your database and to safeguard it, you need to store some. Whenever you go for big shops, you see some restricted rooms where you see some machinery set up and some lights, wires. You see, right? Server room they call it as, right? Have you ever seen? In colleges also you have server rooms dedicatedly. They'll control the network and all data. Their data they'll store, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
they set up. Okay. So if you opt a public cloud, what does it mean is they'll take one big building, just an example. In each floor, they'll maintain one customer data. Let's say in a first floor, they'll maintain Tata Motors data. In second floor, they'll maintain a Mercedes Benz. In third floor, they'll maintain maybe Ashok Leyland. Okay. So they've taken one building and they are maintaining in each floor. They are maintaining one company's data. Set up everything they've set up and they've connected to the SAP application. From wherever you process the data, finally it will come to that data center and it will save the data. Okay. So if everybody's data, I put let's say three people data in one building, I can give little less price for you, right? Because the same security guards I can use maybe maintenance wise and a firewall security purpose, whatever the technicians I need, database technicians, I can use maybe five technician altogether for the three customers. So that for me also it's a profit, for you also it's a profit, right? So it's a sharing services that we call it as a public cloud. So there is one more license. If some customers say, "Hey, don't merge me, my data you have to dedicatedly maintain in one separate building." If they ask you, what you have to do? You have to charge more for it, right? Because you have dedicatedly you need database resources and the security maintenance of that building. It costs you more, right? Then obviously you will also cost more to the customer, right? So that is the main difference. If they go for a public cloud license, along with your data, some others data will also maintain, but data will not delete, data will not hack, nothing will happen. They'll take care, but it's one kind of operating model. Some customers they don't want, then they can go a private cloud in a sense. Their data only, give a special intention, let's say special care they'll give, and they'll charge like that more also. Okay. In simple understanding, if you want to understand, let's say you want to go to Hyderabad. Okay, if you want to go to Hyderabad, there are many ways. So if you choose for a public transport, okay, maybe bus, maybe train, if maybe flight also. If you go for a public no transport, the fare will be different, less only, right? So same Hyderabad, if you want to go in a separate cab, okay, if you want to go in a chartered flight, it will be more, right? Yes or no? Your intention is to reach Hyderabad only, right?
Yes,
Safely.
sir.
So based on your choice, you choose which way you want to travel. It could be public transport or it could be a private. So this is how the cloud licenses work. And again, this is also a application related. You no need to worry. It's not related to your FI or a CU, right? Don't worry. Got
Okay,
it?
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now in IT, you need to understand important thing is system landscape you need to understand. Okay? System landscape. You see my screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's write it here. It's loading. Where did it went? Come on. Okay. System landscape. Every software application it'll have one landscape. Okay. Why the landscape is needed? How the IT people will work? You get to know now. Okay. So 18 it might be big. Let's do it. Maybe 12 will be good. Last system landscape. Okay. So in any system, you have at least three systems. Okay. So one we call it as a development, one we call it as a quality, another one we call it as a production system. So all these three systems are your SAP only. So this is SAP development system. Maybe we call it as A4H. This system ID is A4H is for your development. Okay. Now you can have your SAP quality system, and this we call it as AQH. It's a quality system. And you have one more system, SAP only, SAP production system, and we call it as maybe every system has a three-digit system ID, APH. Okay. Maybe just think this system landscape why it is needed. Now you'll understand. In IT, to understand your system landscape is much needed. Just think it will be like this, and not this one. Let's use a down arrow. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. SAP application in a sense. You always think maybe I learn in one application. When I join an organization also, I always log into one system one and I'll work in that system only. You might be thinking, right?
Sir.
So if I came my screen, I'll open SAP login pad, and there you see only one system. But in real time, that is not the case. Okay. In real time, minimum we should need three systems. Okay. Three systems we need. I'll tell you with examples so you'll understand very easily. And system landscape to understand in IT is very important. You see, this is my logon pad. You see how many connections I have? Only one connection I have, right?
Yes.
In real time, it's not like that. You will have a three systems at least. One is a development system A4H, and then maybe you have AQH, that is your quality system, and you have one more third one A AQ maybe APH, whatever production. Okay. Why you need to have this many different systems? Because three of them are a SAP application only, right? And then why we need a three applications? Let's talk. Okay. Okay. Now you use maybe Flipkart, Amazon. These apps you work, right? You use in your mobile, right?
Yes, sir.
So have you ever observed? Please update the app for a latest updates. You get to see that message, right?
Yes, sir.
So once you update, what are the new functionalities they've added? They will be updated, and the new functions you can use them in your mobile, right?
Yes,
Is it
sir.
okay? Yeah. Now let's talk about why it is needed. Maybe an Amazon app, currently you have a 10 categories. 10 categories in a sense, maybe you have a clothing, you have a groceries, you have a electronics, you have education, you have a car series. There are many things. 10 categories are there, okay? So the 11th category he want to introduce, maybe he want to introduce uh, one more category as a fresh, like a vegetables business also you want to add. Okay. So in a Play Store already he placed one Amazon application that everybody was used and they are using in their mobiles, right? So if you want to add one more functionality into the software application, you have to go into that application in a change mode. You have to do some modifications in it, and once you do a right setting, then only the other new functionality is available for the users, right? Yes.
Yes, sir.
But you tell me you have only one application. That application everybody is already using, and now you are going in that application in a change mode and you are doing some development. If you're doing like that, that application will work for others who all are installed. Will
Yes,
it?
sir.
It will work, huh? Will it work? Let's say I'll tell you other way to understand more easier. Let's say you have one maybe scooty. Okay, you
Okay,
name
sir.
it any scooty. You have one scooty. Okay,
Okay.
you are in a doubt why my scooty is not giving a good mileage. Maybe why is it making a noise? You want to understand. Okay, maybe mileage you want to understand and you want to get a more best mileage for your vehicle. What you have to do? So that vehicle you think you are selling for in a market, you are the manufacturer of that product. Okay,
Okay.
you have only one product, and you want to use that product for your daily needs, and you want to also do a research on that bike. So while traveling you can repair and you can travel, you can open and you can go to your college or your shopping. Is that possible?
No, sir.
If you have one bike, either you have to do a R&D or either you have to use for your purpose, right?
Yes, sir.
If you have a similar copy, one more copy, let's say you have one more same brand scooty in your garage, you can do R&D with that in that bike, and your your daily needs, whatever you want to do, you can do with your bike, right?
Yes, sir.
Both works will not stop, right?
Yes, sir.
That is the reason, if the application, Amazon application, which is there in a Play Store, if they modify, they want to add directly in that application, users who all are installed, nobody can work on it. Okay, because that application is in somebody is doing to somebody operation, that person will walk, eat, and play. No, right?
Yes, sir.
So that is the reason every software application you need at least three copies. One system you need to do a development, right?
Yes.
This is purely you need to build. However your business is asking a requirement, you have to take the requirements, you have to build that application. Once the build is done, whatever you have done here, you have to move to quality system. Thorough testing needs to be done, right?
Yes, sir.
Without testing we cannot assure. we never know whether it is working correctly or not, right?
Yes, sir.
Then finally, this system, once the testing is done, this whatever you developed, we move to the final system. This is a production system. Production system means the system which in a real time accountants, end users, or a business users, that system we call it as a production system. Okay?
Yes, sir.
In this system only business post their daily operations like invoices, payments, receipts, anything. Okay, everything will happen in this system only. But if anything happens to this system and if you want to do any fix for this, again you have to start from here. Remember always, development system is meant for what? For a modification, right?
Yes, sir.
Here only you can modify. First you have to modify here, then you have to test here, then finally you can give the functionality to a business here. Got it?
Yes, sir.
That is the reason minimum IT system landscape will be three systems. One is a development system, one is a quality
Quality
system,
system,
the other
production
one is a production system.
system.
With when once you go for an interview also, if you say in a resume you say I worked in so and so company as a developer, if you say, can you please tell me, maybe you name it ABC company. So what is their landscape, system landscape, they'll ask you, right?
Yes, sir.
Definitely they'll ask you. So you have to say they have one development system, one quality system, and one production system. This confidently you have to say so that they'll understand, yes, she is a real time candidate, like that. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Otherwise, if you say what is mean by system landscape, I don't know, we have only one system, means okay, done, thank you, they'll say, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now you think, you name it, any company, it can be any company. Let's say this is for GMR Constructions or Tata Motors. Okay,
Yes.
any company you name it, maybe Reliance. Okay, any company. So any company, if anybody is using SAP application or any software applications, they have a system landscape. They might have a three system: their development, their quality, and their production system. Okay. Now let's see. Now let's see how your job roles will be linked based on your system landscape. Okay. Let's say GM Construction bought a SAP application. They buy a SAP application. They want to implement that SAP application for their business. Okay, typically if you do very fast also, at least it will take 12 months to configure a system, do a proper testing, and hand over the application to business. At least it will take 12 months. Okay, based on a client. A client in a sense, how big GMR construction business is, how big Tata Motors business is, how big Reliance business is. Based on that, the management will understand how many months it is needed to implement the application, develop the application for the business, right? 12 months will be the period. So they buy a product and they don't know how to configure the application for their business. What they'll do, they'll call a quotations. They'll ask IT providers to submit their bids, right? So in a market there are IT providers. Who are the IT providers? Can you tell few names? Who are the IT providers in the market? Who are the IT providers? Tell IT company names. That's all I'm asking.
TCS.
Infosys, TCS, Tata
Yes.
Consultancy Services, Wipro, right?
Yes, sir.
And what else you have? You know, tell me. Dell, right? HP, right?
Yes. Deloitte.
Uh, Deloitte, KPMG, right? And you have PwC, and you have ENY also, right?
Yes, sir.
And ENY. There are multiple IT providers. What they'll do is they'll provide IT services for a different IT application. That is their business. Okay.
Yes, sir.
They will just recruit a people who has a knowledge in different applications, and they'll get a contract from a different customers. So to fulfill that, whatever people they recruit, they'll ask them to know work on that projects. That is how it works. Okay, these all are the IT providers. IT, these are the IT providers. Okay, so let's talk about Reliance. Now Reliance buy this product and they want to implement this SAP application in a 12 months time. They've asked IT providers to submit their bids in a 12 months. How much amount you need to implement this, all this information they have to fill in, they have to submit the bids to Reliance. Okay, so among the all the bids, maybe Reliance think that HP, okay, or Wipro Technologies bid is very much okay for Reliance customer. Okay, then he selects Wipro as a developing team, right? They give a contract to Wipro. Now Wipro Technologies selected as a developer, right? Developer IT partner, whatever you call it as. In a simple meaning, development contract for Reliance in SAP application development contract for a Reliance got Wipro, right? Wipro Technologies got the contract. Once the contract is finalized, Reliance and Wipro has to read their terms and conditions related to that project. In a 12 months, I'll complete your implementation of SAP product. I'll deliver by so and so date. This much amount you need to pay me. If I fail to do it, I'll pay this much penalty. Everything will be written in agreements, right? Detailedly, they'll written the terms and conditions. Everybody reads and they'll approve it, right? Now, to start the work for Reliance in SAP development, what Wipro needed people who all are having a knowledge in SAP, right? Because this contract is about SAP implementation. If this contract is related to any Java database, anything related that kind of people they'll recruit, right? Now they need a SAP related who is having a knowledge. Then what Wipro will do? Wipro will conduct an interview, and if you go for that interview, and if you select in that interview, Wipro will select you and take you and give you offer. Once you join Wipro will tell you, hey, I have a product, I have a project from a Reliance on a SAP. I am assigning you to that project. You work for Reliance, they'll say. This is how the process works. Okay. So if you join in a Wipro, you will be a developer. Okay, developer consultant. Got it? So your role is based on a company where you join. If you join in a Wipro assigning you into Reliance project, then obviously you are a developer. You have to take the requirement from a Reliance, and based on a requirement, you have to configure, develop the system. Got it? Understood? Hello? Hello?